and welcome to the Boardwalk Times. My name is Ashlyn and today we're talking Marvel movies. So if you didn't know, the Boardwalk Times is right in the middle of its Marvel week, and so we're really prepping up for the Infinity War movie coming out on Friday. I can't believe it's here. Infinity War has been such long awaited by so many people, and I can't believe that Robert Downey Jr. convinced Marvel to let them do it a week early. I know it was a marketing thing. Let's just say Robert Downey Jr. made them do it. But we're super psyched that it's coming out, and so all this week we're giving you Marvel related content, and so for my video today, we're going to be discussing my top 5 Marvel movies. So starting with number 5, we have the most recent Marvel movie, Black Panther. And Black Panther is an amazing film for so many reasons. One, just because of the time that it was released and the cultural references that are made. This film is super important for not only the superhero community but just the world in general. I think this made a lot of buzz with how the entire cast was virtually African American, and there was just a really big movement of women and really strong female leads. That was one of my favorite parts of the entire film. The Dora Milaje women are not to be messed with. They are super awesome and amazing, and I felt my heart racing every time there was a battle scene between them, and the film is just it's just a great story. A lot of origin stories can be hit or miss, but those are what set the tone for the future phases of Marvel. With phase 1, they had all the origin stories, and now they're starting to layer on phase 2 and phase 3, where the stories get a little deeper. Well, Black Panther we first met in Civil War, but when you have a whole film dedicated to him and you really get to know his story, I thought his story was one of the best origin stories that Marvel's released, just because it felt very raw and it felt very just authentic in a way, with how I think the tribe element helped a lot. I think that was a really cool element that we haven't really seen from Marvel, and so being able to see that on top of having the action we love from Marvel, the humor we love from Marvel, and also having a really strong, like I said, female base too. Even have Shuri being a 16-year-old genius is amazing to me that they let that happen in Marvel. So we're really psyched to see everyone from that cast back in Infinity War. Number 4 is one of my favorite sets of Marvel films, and these are the Thor movies. And so I picked Thor Ragnarok as my number 4 because this movie had me in stitches. I was laughing so hard. I was crying in the theater. This film is one of Marvel's funniest films in my opinion, and I was so happy that they took a lighter tone with the third film. Granted, the first two, I think Thor overall was one of the more light-hearted kind of plot lines of the entire Marvel universe, and so I was really happy that they just kind of brought it home with a hilarious film filmed by Taika Waititi, and he is amazing. He is so eccentric and so fun, and so that whole film is just totally him, and I love that they were able to cast Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master. Everything about that film was great, and so of course I had to put it on my list. And if you guys didn't know, I'm a major Loki fan. He is my favorite Marvel character ever. I know he's a villain, but you know, I still love him. So I was very happy to see him back in Thor Ragnarok with some hilarious lines. My number 3 would have to be Civil War. This was a really hard, the top 3 were really hard to pick for me as far as the ranking was concerned, but number 3 would have to be Civil War because it was the second time that we got to see a bunch of superheroes in one movie. And if you know me, I am a sucker for anything group shot. If there's a group shot in a trailer, in a movie, anything, I am all about it. I freak out, I fangirl, and this had so much of it. Specifically the airport scene. If you guys remember the airport scene where the two teams of Team Iron Man and Team Captain America fight together for the first time, that was like gold for me. I was set in that film. So I was just really blown away by how they were able to weave all the storylines in, especially for being a Captain America film. They marketed it more of like an Avengers film in a way, but it just felt super cool to have all of those superheroes, even if they're against each other, still battle and be a part of a film together. Number 2, you can probably tell by my t-shirt, I am one of the biggest Guardians of the Galaxy fans, like ever. If you know me, I tend to dress up as Gamora from time to time, but I absolutely love the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is why it's my number 2. I have seen this film a billion times. I've seen the second film a million times. I love this film, and I love the fact that it takes itself doesn't take itself seriously at all. It is one of those films that it has the action, it has the graphics, it has the special effects, and yet it is so funny. It is drop dead hilarious funny, and the cast of characters could not have been better. And I remember seeing this film, this was the biggest surprise for me too. That's why it's so high on my list. It was one of the biggest surprises for me because watching the trailer, I had never read the comics, and watching the trailer, you have a tree, you have a raccoon, you got a green girl, you got a blue buff dude, and you got this guy who's a human in a leather jacket listening to music. And it doesn't seem like the exact cast of characters you really care about or want to watch, and even the trailer threw me for a loop a little bit. I was like, it's funny, but it's not the Marvel I'm used to. It's not the Captain America, it's not the Iron Man, you know, it's not the Thor, and I was like, I don't really know if I'm gonna like it. I fell in love with that movie the minute the credits start, or the opening credits start. I just thought that entire film was so brilliantly done, and the soundtracks are amazing. If you listen to the movies, or if you watch the movies and listen to the soundtracks, you have those things on a repeat constantly because that music is so catchy, and it even exposed me to a couple new artists that I'd never heard of before. So The Guardians, I think, is a fantastic franchise for what it is, and I'm super psyched to see the third one, and hopefully nothing bad happens to the Guardians in Infinity War, but I think something will, so hopefully not. So now drum roll please for my number one film. You guys already probably know what it is, but I absolutely love, my favorite Marvel movie of all time is the original Avengers. I absolutely love the Avengers movie. I have seen this movie actually probably about 100 times. I saw it 7 times in theaters in the span of like a month. I know pretty much Loki's entire monologue and an entire script of the entire movie for like I've watched it so many times, and I just absolutely love the idea of bringing together all of these heroes, and the scene in New York at the end where they're all fighting and the camera pans to each and every one of them, like that is like the quintessential team up movie. Like, to be able to see your favorite superheroes all interacting together was just mind-blowing to me. That was not a concept I'd even thought of before, and being able to see it on screen just made it that much more amazing and that much more like satisfactory to me, and just I would love it. And I still love it. Each time I see it, I still get that excitement of I'm watching the Avengers. It's like, it's so cool. And even now with, you know, the Age of Ultron, and now with Infinity War, every time I know that more superheroes are going to be added to the movies, I just get more excited, and I'm sure you do too. So that definitely has to be my very, very top Marvel movie. So were any of your favorite movies on my list? Please leave in the comments down below. What are your top 5 favorite Marvel films? Let's start a discussion in the comments. But this was the very first Boardwalk Times like official YouTube video, so I was super honored that they asked me to do this, and I really hope you guys liked it. Please check out our site. We have people posting articles all the time, and for more Marvel Week info, I'll leave everything down in the bottom bar. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and please go watch Infinity War and support our favorite superheroes. Bye guys.